Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Oluwayomi Ute. Such a joy to come your way this beautiful Monday morning. Thank you to everybody joining me live on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Instagram. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, every single person. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I don't take your joining me for granted at all. So, another day is here and another beautiful week. How was your weekend? I believe you had a good time. Thank you, everyone, joining me on Instagram. I do appreciate you on Facebook, and everyone that will watch thereafter. I say a big thank you to you. Today, I want to talk to you or challenge you by asking a question. Whose son or whose daughter are you? Whose son or whose daughter are you? Talking about the power of values. When you talk about whose son and whose daughter are you, just take a moment to think, at what time does that question come your way? Many times, it's two extremes. Is that you have done something either very good or you've done something very bad. That is when those comment, those greetings come your way. Whose son or whose daughter are you? The first time that question struck me was when David killed Goliath. And King Saul asked his subjects, whose son is that? He saw in him bravery. He saw in him courage. He saw somebody that would dare and who also knew who he was, who would say, I have a covenant with God, so let me go dare this guy. And he got the victory. And so Saul looked and wondered, this little Rudy boy, whose son is that? That question will always come when you have done something extremely good or extremely bad. It never comes to the average person. So if you're average and you are in that space where it's very crowded, nobody asks whose son or whose daughter are you. When you're in that crowded space, nobody asks your lineage. So I'm challenging you today to come out of the crowd and become outstanding. But when that question is asked, they're asking about your values. So my question is this: what value are you living by? What are your core values? I was in a conversation someday, and I was talking about my country, and they said, what's the national value? And everybody was confused. So what's our national value? Let me ask you, what's your family value? What's your personal value? It's so easy to point at government and say government have not done something right or wrong. But let's leave government alone. Let me ask you, whose son are you? What's your corporate value? What's your family value? So what are values? Values are sets of principles or belief that you live by or you hold yourself accountable by. They affect how you look at something. They affect if you say something is good or it's bad. So it depends. Values. Let me look at three categories of values very briefly: the general values, the work values, and your personal values. General value is what everybody knows. So somebody does something right or somebody does something wrong. Values. Oh, so somebody stole. Everybody says that's bad because generally it's seen as bad. But some things are not exactly bad. But if you're a person of value and they don't align with your value, you say no to them. One can be punctuality. So people can take coming late for granted. Oh, they are late, and so what? But because you hold punctuality very dear, when somebody says is late, you're like, what? You mean you can come late for an event? Because your personal value does not tolerate lateness. I recall a story somebody talking about punctuality. He said his father had a meeting with a corporate executive and they were going to nail $1 million deal. And they gave a time for the meeting, let's say 10, for instance. And the man who was going to sign the deal came in 5 minutes to 10. And his own father was not yet in the office. He's naturally not late, but that day, one of those days. And then when it was 1 minute to 10, the guy asked, your father has not joined yet. He said, oh, he will soon be here, sir. It's not in his culture to be late. And I said, well, it's 1 minute to 10 already, and the meeting is for 10. So the young boy said, don't worry, daddy will soon be here. And he thought he had given an excuse. And then on the dot of 10, the guy got up, picked his stuff, and said to him, when your father comes, let him know I have been here. The meeting is for 10. It's 10 o'clock now. He is not here. I got to go. It tried to explain. It tries to do everything. And the guy said, sorry, an appointment is an appointment. 10 is 10. And the man left. So since that day, he held punctuality so dear. When he has an appointment, he'd rather get there 15 minutes, 20 minutes early than get there a minute late. Values. What are your values? The truth is this. Your value, thank you, Uncle Max, your values truly are keys to your identity. But I want to give us 3 quotes by 3 very distinguished people about values. Elvis Presley, you probably know him. You know his name. You might not know him as a person, of course. It says values are like fingerprints. No bodies are the same, but you leave them over everything you do. So if your value is excellence, they can see the footprint over the fingerprint over everything you do. Albert Einstein said, try not to become a man of success, but a man of value. He said, look around at how people want to get more out of life than they put in. It says, a man of value will give more than he receives. So it's a challenge. He said, be creative, but make sure that what you create is not a curse for mankind. Be creative, but make sure that whatever you create is not a curse for mankind. Values. Jim Rohn said, the major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. So that speaks to what Uncle Max just said. Values are keys to your identity. What are your values? What are your family values? What are you teaching your children? What are you living by? Everything starts from the family. The nation is born from a successful family. Everything. So when you are talking about values, the truth is this. As a father, as a mother, as a parent, as a person of influence over any child, you teach values every day, not by what you say, but by what you do. Unconsciously, you are building values into children. So I give another example. You say, oh, in our family, one of our core values is integrity. And then Yomi is coming to your house and tell your son, Junior, please tell Auntie Yomi when she comes, I'm not home. Daddy, I thought you said our family value is integrity, but you're home. But you're telling me to tell Auntie Yomi that you are not home. You just taught that child that integrity is not really the value. You can bend it when you want to. So the child comes out and has no value for integrity. I say, whose son are you? I taught you integrity. No, you did not. Because action speaks louder than words. Yes, you spoke about integrity, but you did not teach him integrity by the things you do. So he said, hard work is our core value as a family. What are you teaching your children? You just stay at home, sleep in all through, and somehow help is getting the chores done? If that is it, you are not teaching hard work. If you must teach hard work, you must show them hard work by your example and by the things that you are making them to do. How do you develop good values? Number 1, preach what you teach. Practice what you preach. So you are speaking integrity. You are saying your core value is integrity. Be a person of integrity. Children will learn more, like I said earlier, by what you do than by what you say. So if you must teach value, you must model the right value, the right behavior. Model it. Number 2, learn to reward good behavior. Learn to reward good behavior. So somebody has done something right, reward it. Reward is not always about money. Each time I hear reward, people talk about, oh, give the child money. I didn't say so. A good well done. A good, oh, that was awesome work done. Congratulations. Come, let me give you a hug. You are rewarding good behavior. So the child wakes up in the morning and without being poked, lays his bed and kneels by his bed to say his prayers. And you come in, you see the child in that state, hug that child and say, oh, wow, you've laid your bed and you're praying. That's awesome. So now let's go for family altar. You just rewarded good behavior. The child will want to do it again to get that thank you one more time. How else do you develop good values? By communication. Communicate effectively. Be clear. If you are saying it's integrity, be clear. If you are saying it's hard work, be clear. If you are saying it's excellence, be clear. And by the way, excellence is not a destination, it's a journey. What is excellent today might not be excellent tomorrow, because things change. Every day, things are evolving. A few days ago, at the beginning of this year, things are so different than the way they are now. Change is a part of life. And to also teach good values, one of the things you should learn to do is to narrate your personal experiences. Great is that man that has learned to let other people learn from his own experiences. Don't hoard it. So you made a mistake and you got the consequences. Share it. I recall growing up, say, oh, every parent came first in class. Every parent came first in class. And the one child stumbled on his father's report card and he saw the E's and the F's and kept the report. And so the father came home and he said, Daddy, can you see this? Without thinking, he thought it was a child's report and he began to scold. When I was your age, I never scored this kind of grades. And when he finished, in fact, the son said, Daddy, that was actually your old report. So yes, you failed at some point. Let people learn from it. Don't hoard. Yes, Auntie Bimbo, don't hoard your personal experiences. Tayo, it's good to see you online. It's so good to see you. Bimbo, it's so good to see you. Monitor what your child is consuming. That's the fifth way of developing good values in children. Monitor what your child is consuming. Monitor what is watching on the internet. Monitor what is watching on the television. So I've said so much and I seem to have tilted towards children. But adults, it's never too late to correct and develop the right values. Never too late. So ask yourself, what values am I living by? Do they speak for what I want? Will I get the results from it? If not, the time to start changing is now. You can decide now to become excellent. That whatever it is you do must just be excellent. You can decide that now. That whatever you do, so if I'm supposed to write, I will ensure that what I wrote has no errors. If I'm going to write it 5 times to get it right, I will do it 5 times until I get it right. It's a decision. So I decide to succeed, and I will not stop until I succeed by doing things right, by modeling good behaviors, by communicating right, by practicing what I preach. So that when you do something outstanding positively, somebody will be able to ask, whose son or whose daughter is that? So today I've just come to ask, whose son are you? Or whose daughter are you? What are your values? What are the values that you live by? What are the values that you hold dearly? Whatever it is that you do consistently will become a habit. So even if you're not doing it right now, you can decide to begin to do it right. It's never too late to have a fresh start. Don't ever think that it's too late. You might be 50, you might be 60, it doesn't matter. And you might be 10, you might be 15, it does not matter. Age is not the issue here. It's a decision to develop and live by the right values. If every single person decides to model the right behavior, how awesome our world will be. So until I come your way next week, Monday, 7:45, another edition of Knocks to Nuggets, I have an appeal. Spread this word. Share this page. Share this broadcast. If you're Instagram, like it. Pass your comments. Tell somebody about it. YouTube, share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's hit a 1,000-man subscription this year. We can do it. I know we can. because I know that you will do it with me. So until I come your way, never forget it. Together we win. God bless you. Have a fruitful day ahead. Love you and bye for now. So